Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 499. That means we're one away from 500 on October 10th, 2024. On this week's episode, we talk about who was lucky enough to enroll in Nintendo's Playtest program and who's going to get Nintendo's latest hardware. Your questions and more. Jesse, you know what to do.
No, fellow listeners, that is not the sound of your Nintendo Alarmo going off. It is episode 499 of Nintendo Dads. One episode away from the big 500, 10 years of podcasting, 500 episodes. Joining me on the show tonight, Mr. Tim Off. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's, as usual, a busy week at work, but always glad to be able to let off some steam and talk some video games and Nintendo with you guys. So, yeah. And also there's a lot of sports stuff going on here in Detroit, you know, with the Tigers making the playoffs, although they lost today, but both teams are tied. It comes down to the last game in was it Cleveland? Who are we playing? I don't even know. Guardians. Whatever city that is. So we're playing them. And
the Hyperlian Guardians.
Yes. And we're, this tied up game series. And I know there's a lot of people who are into that. And we talked, I think, a little bit about that last show, but at the beginning. But That's what we're excited about here in Detroit. We got some good teams going, playing good games.
Which tells you how much I pay attention to baseball, because the last Cleveland team I remember was the Indians.
Yeah, it is Cleveland because they changed their name.
Is it the same team? Name. Just changed the name?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, just like the Redskins, and just like, our local high school had a mascot change because people are getting offended now where they didn't 80 years ago. I'm like, okay, grow up, you people.
Hey, we still have the Rebels local.
Yeah.
The Colonel Reb, and then we've got Ole Miss just a little further down the road. They tried to get rid of old Colonel Reb, and that didn't happen. I forget what they were. They're going to be like the Land Sharks at one time. There was actually suggested the Mississippi Land Sharks.
Yeah.
That was not great. Jesse, how you doing, buddy?
Again, just like Tim, I had a long work week, but we got our final sign off for the year that'll release next week, so tomorrow should be an easier day, and the rest of the year should be pretty smooth at this point.
Fantastic. I have some people that we're friends with here who have been working on a brand new medical charting for a big hospital system nearby, and that went live last Saturday, and they have to work 14-hour days all month. Yeah, they're not doing well. They're just run down at this point.
I got a friend who's had to deal with that, and probably I think dealing with that again. So I don't know if they have to work that many hours, but they have to help train that stuff. So
my wife texted one of the ladies who's a friend of ours Saturday, and it went live at 4 a.m. and at 11. She said, "How's it going?" And she responded with, "Everything is on fire."
Sounds like it's working.
Right? Yeah.
If Perfect. It's not on fire, it's not working.
True, right?
Guys, that's what the asbestos suits are for.
Right. They issue those to you as you take your job.
How are you doing, Marty?
You know what? I'm doing good. It's been this week has been fall break week for everyone but me. I've had two finals this week that took me a combined total of 3 hours to take. A lot of writing on those, but hey, we're here. Things are good. Playing some Echoes of the Kingdom. I'll talk about that later. Did I do that again? Echoes of Wisdom.
It's okay. I'm going to start calling it that. Echoes of the Kingdom.
Yeah. And
Tears of the Wild and Breath of the Kingdom.
I had like one big Nintendo win today and one big Nintendo fail. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I'm like you guys. I've been looking forward to this today. Looking forward to having a chat and just catching up. I guess the only other big thing is happened at our house this week was we got, one of the things now that we have good home internet was buying cameras to put up around the house, doorbell camera and all that fun stuff. And so I
Nice.
installed those yesterday. And my wife is like, please, please stop talking about the doorbell cameras. Because I'm like, well, they do this and this. And she's like, just stop. I'm tired of hearing about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We put up a
Uh,
couple cameras around here too, just to help with safety.
yeah. So
Um,
it goes to my phone and her phone and my in-laws phone because Amazon had a really great sale this week on the Blink camera system, which is what we're using. And it was like $200 off for 3 cameras and a camera doorbell. And so I was like, well, we'll use the doorbell and we'll mount the cameras around the property. And one of those was on, or a couple of those, are facing our, and our entrance and our in-laws entrance is, the most heavily trafficked area. And my mother-in-law is on a trip today and she texted me after I told her how to get into it and everything. She's like, I had to silence my notifications because I don't know if you know this, but people come in and out of your door a lot. I
oh
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, they do. We're really busy. It happens. Because it's always like somebody's at your door. We detected motion, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's been a great week and we've got some stuff to talk about. So how about we just dive straight into the news?
Let's do it.
And our news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where for as little as $1 a month, you get to join up with the best community on the internet. That's because we're there and you're there as well. You get to join up with a vibrant community that's over there talking about everything from Nintendo's newest hardware release this week to even PlayStation, Xbox, dads, being dads, what we're eating, all kinds of other stuff. $1 gets you in the door, gets you the just the general channels there on the Discord. $5 gets you access to all the channels, and boy, are there
Well,
a lot of
actually,
channels.
for our 10th anniversary, we opened up most of the channels to everyone, $1 or more, except for the archives. That's the only thing that's not opened up to
Oh,
everybody. So,
well,
but
thanks, Tim.
everything's open to everybody for $1 or more.
Yeah, so for $1 or more right now, you get everything. But if you'd like to support us at the $5 level, that means that after that little anniversary period is over,
Yes.
you get all of those sub channels. $10 gets you pre and post show audio, and $30 gets you on the show as a Patreon producer. And we love each and every one of you, whether you're at the $30 level or the $1 level, or whether you've been a listener for a while and maybe you supported for a while and now you can't for whatever reason. We still love you. We don't stop loving you. We're not George Jones. We don't stop loving you today because you stopped supporting us. So head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where apparently we're giving it away for almost free until further notice. Yeah,
Just $1.
just $1. And you can pay by the year and you get a month
10 bucks.
free. Yep, $10 gets you everything. The full Monty at Nintendo Dads.
Yep.
We'll only keep the archives from you because they won't do.
Just remember,
Who
don't
wants
do
to
it
get in
through your
archives?
iPhone. Just
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
don't
That is
subscribe to the
hey,
iPhone.
that is really that's coming up very quick. I want to remind you guys, if you have not subscribed to us and you're about to, now is the time to think about not doing it via iPhone. Even if you have iOS, if you do it online, the price will be the web browser price. So, want to just don't use your phone. All right, you can still use your Apple account, still do all that to sign up. Go through the whatever. Just don't do it on the phone because there's a dumb tax if you do that. But Android folks, you're good. They don't care what you do over there in Android land. Just,
Yet.
as long yet. That's true. It's coming. It's coming. They're just testing it out on iOS people first. So let's talk some headlines. Nintendo Switch online playtest program went live today for subscriptions. If you
Woo!
haven't heard what this is, Nintendo mysteriously tweeted yesterday that they would be opening up applications for the Nintendo Switch Online playtest program relating to a new feature for Nintendo Switch Online offered for the Nintendo Switch system. The goal was to recruit people to participate in the test from customers who have an active Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack membership. Those that were selected will be able to download exclusive software that will then go live from October 24th through November 5th for a playtest. So lots of people did not get into this. Lots. In
Yep.
fact, I saw a lot more people saying they did not get into this than did. Like even Andre Seegers over at Game Explain posted his rejection screen where he did not get in.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think
But
I was watching the clock, waiting for 10 o'clock. I missed it. I logged in at 10:01 and did not get in. So they
about
I logged
nine,
in right at 10 o'clock. But
see,
actually, I was trying at 9:59. This is Eastern. So not 10, excuse me, not 10. What was it?
it'd be 11 your
see,
time.
11 your
11.
time.
Yeah. So 11, 10:59, because it said it was going to be live at the 59 mark. So I was logging in. It wasn't showing, the button wasn't live yet, even though I kept refreshing. And then right when it hit the top of the hour, it went live. I clicked on it, signed up. I was already logged in. And then it said I missed it.
So at
I was
9:55, I started
it's like, what?
refreshing and
Okay.
I realized that I wasn't logged in. So I went ahead and did that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I wonder if you have to log in for this because if you do, I may lose out, miss
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
So
you
logged
did.
in and I came back and I just refreshed. And as soon as the button went live, I hit it. And then you didn't really have to do anything other than that. You went through, you clicked another button, basically agreeing to terms and conditions, and then it told you it would come up with your me, and it would say either selected or non-select, not selected.
Hmm.
And I got selected, so
Yay, at least one of us did.
I'm gonna get
Yeah,
to do this. Justin
apparently it
found out
was
he couldn't
like the
even
first.
register.
Yeah, because
Filthy
the list of
Canadian.
countries is Japan, United States, UK, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. And there
10
were
10,000 people out of all of those.
yeah. So of all the countries except for Japan, it's first come first serve. So I don't know. I don't know how many, or if it was
Nope.
10,000 per country or what.
The crazy.
But in Japan, because Japan does what Japan does, you enter yourselves into a lottery system.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I registered for that because I have a Japanese account.
Okay.
So I have a chance. I won't.
Nice.
It's highly unlikely based on all the numbers that I'm seeing, but I've got a chance.
And it's crazy too, because it's like you have to have an active Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack membership before that date Wednesday to be able to even get past that part. You have to be
As
over
well as
18.
being
Right.
18. Yeah, I was going to say you have to be that, and that's a weird thing. You have to be 18 or older.
Yep. So, and all that stuff, and it was still
Well,
within
you have to be old enough to
seconds.
sign a contract because there will be an NDA
Yes,
involved.
there will be an NDA. I was going to talk about that. So
With all that, within seconds, immediately, a lot of people
Yep.
didn't get in it.
I saw
They
yesterday
filled that 10,000.
when they first put this up, it said we will accept 10,000 people. I was like, oh crap, I'm not getting this. And then it went straight through. I was freaking out. So for those of us who were accepted in the playtest program, Nintendo says that they will give us an eShop download code for this special software sometime around October 21st, which will need 2.2 gigabytes of free space to download. Nintendo also then commented saying that they recommend that you use TV mode and a wired connection during the tests. Players will not be allowed to talk about the contents of the playtest. I will have to accept an NDA before the software can be downloaded. So like I was like, yeah, of course I'll tell you guys about it. I don't know. Like, are the ninjas gonna get me if
You
I
won't be able to talk about it for sure
I
with
will
the
not until it's over with.
until you
And
go
maybe not
past the
even then. But
embargo.
listen,
Yeah, and that embargo date might not just be when the test ends. It might
that's
be
true.
you could never talk about this.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a pretty healthy little chunk of time to test it, if you think about it.
Yeah,
It's like 2 weeks.
about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Yeah.
So, what is this? I
I
have
called it.
seen such rampant speculation especially since the size of it leaked. I
Yep.
can't. I don't. What is it?
Mario Cardo. That's the next game.
Mario
I
Kart.
saw speculation of it might be a voice chat client, but 2.2 gigs sounds like a lot for that, so it's probably not it.
Right. I saw speculation that it was
This sounds
going to
like a mini game.
right. I saw speculation of it being a trophy system, or achievement system, but 2.2 gigs for trophies.
Yeah.
Stamps.
No, I think this is going to be.
It's Stamp Rally. Go.
I think this
Street
will be.
Pass.
I think this will be some sort of game that has to be played online. But
what?
that's the part that no one knows.
I'm just stinking excited that I'm part of it. Like
I'm excited you are too.
I did not think that I was going to get into this, and I now, like, 11 days feels like a long wait.
Beer says it's 1-2 switch, but he's wrong. I think it's going to be 1-2-3 switch.
It's 3-4 switch.
3.
It's
1 through 5 switch.
it's Animal Crossing's new sequel, Chicken Crossing the Road. I don't know. You know what?
It's going to be fun. And what's going to suck is you can't tell us, and when you're just going to be like, I want to tell somebody.
And I'm the worst. I'm the worst about this. I can talk, like, do I have to like play it behind closed doors in my house? Can my family know about it?
Nope. You're going to have to play it in the closet.
This reminds me of a small side step.
And then when that embargo lifts, then you can come out of the closet.
Oh.
So,
the Nintendo equivalent of a Diddy party. I mean,
so this reminds me of something happened at work where, there was big, because of Amazon's big sale the last few days, we had a system freeze. But for the longest time, we didn't. That system freeze wasn't finalized until the week before. It was all rumors and speculation, even up to October 1st, which shouldn't happen. And my comment to my boss was, I sign more NDAs for my hobby than I do my job. That does not sound right.
Right. Right.
They should just give us, tell us an NDA. That's fine. But we need to know this stuff.
Y'all, you guys do realize that this is totally getting talked about. Like, people aren't going to care. They're going to break the NDA, and
we're going to see a lot of YouTube strikes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The only other speculation I've heard about this is, could it be Miiverse 2? Like, could it be a social network?
I heard that.
Because
that's
of the
possible.
adult requirement, like you had to be 18. But at first, seeing that prior to getting in, or prior to hearing about having to sign an NDA, the 18 makes much more sense about that than it does about a feature or something. The other thing I heard somebody said,
it's strictly because of the NDA.
That it was
just
like
because
GameCube.
At 17, you're not old enough to sign a contract.
Yeah. The only other thing I saw too was that, like, people speculating that it was GameCube and Wii streaming, because those games are so large. And I just, like, a client being 2.2 gig to do that? Don't know.
Well, I don't know how large those emulators are. So,
Right.
though I'd say that's probably not, the probability is not zero, but it's not probable.
Yeah. The whole use it with a TV and a wired connection does not make me think that it's going to be a social network. It also doesn't make me
That
think that it's going to
does
be a
definitely
trophy
sounds like
or
a streaming thing.
yeah, you're going to be streaming something. So
Netflix finally.
it's Netflix. I'm gonna die if it's Netflix. It's like, don't tell anybody, guys. Say 8 years in, here's Netflix. Uh Crazy. You know what's crazy though? Like I just realized it like about 2 months ago was since we have Hulu Live TV now, that's what we use. I can do that on my Switch. So I can actually watch whatever I want on my
I
Switch.
forgot about that. Forgot Hulu's on there.
Yeah. So like and the live TV works so well. So like a lot of times, like if I'm behind on wrestling or something and I'm slow at the office, I catch
Yeah.
up.
I wish I could do that with YouTube, but live TV through YouTube is a separate application. So
Yeah.
that is not on Switch, but
Yeah.
it's
And
on
that
my phone and my iPad and
honestly,
my Apple TV.
honestly, that's one of the reasons that we went with Hulu over YouTube was just the feature set. And that was I do sometimes
The,
wish that we had the YouTube
I don't
package
even
for
think
YouTube
Hulu
without
was an
ads.
option when I decided to go with when Google TV was going away. I had to find some sort of solution for
Yeah.
live, and I went with YouTube TV.
So TV talk aside, within the next few weeks, we'll probably know what this is, at least in some shape, form of broken NDA, but it will not be from us. We're like, we would like to stay on
Nope,
Nintendo's good side.
we're
So
going to be
Yes.
good people.
don't expect anything unless they say we can say something. So if we say something, then you'll know that they've said.
Right.
Or I'm just really weak and I'm an idiot and I'll let it slide. Anyway, couple other little news items here we want to round up because, of course, Alarmo being announced and released is the big news of the week, and we wanted to include that with your comments and questions here just in a minute on the show. But a couple other little things to clean up our news segment. Super Mario Party Jamboree has a demo that is available in select retailers from now until release date. Well, it'll be available after release date too. But if you'd like to play this game, you can go to Best Buy or Target. I think also GameStop. They mentioned having the demo in the Switch kiosk, kind of like they did with Mario Wonder last year
Yeah,
around this time.
it's just those kiosks still kind of are a pain to use, and I'd rather they just release a public demo instead of
Yeah,
having us go through the
That'll be
retailers.
next.
honestly, at this point, like we never got a Mario Odyssey demo at home. I don't understand this strategy. When Nintendo has highlighted, for the most part, that digital sales have overtaken physical sales, I don't understand not releasing the demo to the digital
Well,
audience
the retailers are
instead
not
of
happy,
saying,
and they're trying to
Yeah,
find
I was
ways
well,
gonna
to
say
get people back
retailers are
there you
into the
go.
probably
retailers.
retailers
Yeah,
are
we'll give
probably
you
got
some
an
money if
agreement
you'll
or
make a
something.
demo. And yeah, I don't know how all that works. Like, if they pay to have those demos or whatever, but if I'm in the area, which I probably will not be, my daughter has started driving herself to dance class, which has been an amazing, freeing, like hours back to my life each week. And
Yeah.
also not sitting in coffee shops for 4 or 5 hours on end waiting her to be done. So, I don't know that I'll actually get around to playing this demo before it goes out, before it comes out.
Yeah, it comes out next week.
Yep. Next Thursday. So by the time you hear this next episode 500,
We all
we'll
need to
have
get
played
this. We
Super
all need to
Mario
get
Party
this and
Jamboree.
play.
I agree. I
We
can't
should
wait for
stream
this
it.
game.
It
Can we do it online? Is that a thing?
has online. Yeah.
Yes. Let's do it.
So
We
Jesse,
have
you
to
got to get
figure
it.
out we have to figure out how we can hear
Wasn't
everyone
planning on
and
it. I'll think
Well,
about
too
it.
bad. Yeah. So a couple of releases and updates we want to talk about with some games out now. Transformers Galactic Trials, Europa, and RPG Maker with. Is that supposed to have something after it?
Nope.
Well,
Just the way you read it.
see, if you're looking, apparently I haven't looked myself, but the way Tim was describing it to me, there are multiple entries in the eShop. It's with something. They're basically DLC assets to, and then like the biggest bundle with everything is like $180 or something like that.
The game is just called RPG Maker with.
$180?
Or you can get the base.
That's the monster where you get all the DLC stuff.
Yeah. Or you can get the base game for 50 and then buy the DLC piecemeal.
Yeah.
I don't know if the 180 is a deal or not. I didn't dig into that.
RPG Maker with lets you make games for and with everyone. No programming knowledge is required to make a perfect game when you're using RPG Maker's with RPG Maker with robust blah blah blah. So it keeps calling it RPG Maker with.
It's confusing. I think he's trying to search it for it or something.
No. My
There's a demo.
My mom is texting me in the middle of the show about the Northern Lights.
Okay.
Oh, I heard that they might be visible, and there's people in our SCA kingdom is at a camping event this week, and we're told,
I bet they're getting some good pictures.
Get a look.
Yeah, they said between as far south as Alabama tonight, between 10 and 2 a.m. So she just sent me some. I mean, I would send it to you guys, but we're doing a show. Also, out soon. And I'm gonna do it again. I do it every time. Neva, Neva. N-E-V-A. Never.
Like this one of the same people who did Glee.
Yes.
Did you
which
find
apparently is going? That game's going in PlayStation Plus.
Oh yeah,
next week.
It's a good game. If you've not played it, and you can get a chance to it. It's like a Sean Connery saying never. It's the hunt for Red October. Never. You will never find it. That's out October 15th. Mario Party is out next week on Thursday. That's the 17th. And out later, announced today, Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. This is a brand new Episode 1 game, right?
No, it's not a brand new one. It is a re-release. It is another Aspire
okay.
Remaster or whatever they call it. Not remaster, but re-release.
Yeah, I've never heard of this game. So
yep. This is probably lower on the Michael's saying it was a PS1 game in 1999.
I just did a Google who says released March 31st, 2000 for PlayStation, Dreamcast, and Game Boy Advance.
Yes. Yep. So, our Star Wars dads guys are going to be checking this out.
There's a staggering jump in quality. There, it's like you can get it on the Game Boy Advance or Dreamcast. Or PlayStation.
Or PlayStation.
PlayStation was like the midway stop. Can you imagine developing that game?
Wasn't Dreamcast closer to PS2 in quality?
Yes.
Even though it came out first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't remember. I always get which came first, Saturn or Dreamcast.
Saturn did. Saturn was late.
Saturn came first. It was close to PlayStation, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Saturn was mid 90s, like the N64 and PlayStation time.
I almost had a Sega Saturn. Almost.
I rented one once.
But then I decided not to, and I'm glad I did.
I chose the PlayStation.
I didn't get a PlayStation until Final Fantasy VII came out.
Yeah.
Even though I'd rented one from the local game store.
I didn't get a PlayStation until Final Fantasy X came out.
Wow. I was able to get a PlayStation because the one of the guys I worked with, his wife told him, if you don't sell that, I'm going to divorce you. So I was able to buy up all his
Well,
stuff for
all
500
right.
bucks. Got a bunch of games, a couple controllers, and the PlayStation.
See, I remember when I first started working at my company in 2000. So yeah, I'll be there almost 25 years. Uh, they had just a sleeve full of burnt discs for PlayStation, and they had a modded PlayStation.
Well, that's why we're Nintendo dads and not Sega dads.
Right.
We'll have to get the Sega moms on to have them, correctly talk about that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I did have a Dreamcast. I got it the day it came out. Couldn't save anything on it for weeks because they didn't make enough of the memory units.
Was that the 9999 release?
Yes.
Okay. I knew something released then. I just forgot
Got
what it was.
I got it and Sonic Adventure and Blue Stinger, which was like a
Sounds like a
3DS
shmup.
adventure game. No, it was
Oh.
like aliens have invaded the world, like I won't say Resident Evil-esque kind of game. Not scary though, really. And then on a whim, I picked up Power Stone, which is still
I've
one
heard
of
a
my
lot of
favorite
good things
fighting
about
games.
that. Yeah, I've heard that's probably one of the better games on the system.
It's fantastic. Oh, and Soul Calibur too. Soul Calibur, the original, and we
Oh, Soul
played
Calibur
the
was so fun.
crap out of Soul Calibur. Man, it's so
Yeah,
good.
that was a good one.
We dorm room love Soul Calibur. Well, guys, that's our news. So let's take a quick break. Are we doing an ad read here, Tim?
Yeah, we put the wrong note in there because we
Yes,
changed our
okay.
mind.
We're taking a
But
quick
yeah,
break
we'll do
from
one.
our for an ad read from our friends at Manscaped.
But we'll open. Okay. All right, Jesse, you ready? Hey,
Sure.
listen.
Hey, listen.
It's dangerous to go alone or with a partner without the right tools. Take this, the Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0. Taking control of your bush responsibly is important. These products are so good, you're going to be showing off your Master Sword and rupees with pride. Also, take the beard hedger to keep your face looking good in Hyrule. It's a fact that you will have the best kept sack in all of Hyrule. Save big and be the most hygienic version of yourself by using our discount code NINDADS for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. That's NINDADS for 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com. And you can use that with the subscription service as well. That's 20% off with free shipping. Use that code. It's time you level up and impress your Zelda with the ultimate bushwhacking tools from Manscaped.
All right, guys, it's time to discuss Nintendo released new hardware this week. Can you believe it? It's what we've all been waiting for. We have been holding our breath for Nintendo's newest hardware announcement, and they announced Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo. Yep.
Woo!
Nintendo unveiled
With a
their
lot
quality.
of
Yeah.
across the internet.
Oh, why? Why? It's like you hear that video beam. Why? Why? So we ask this week, let's just talk about this. Actually, before we get into the question, let's just talk about this for a minute. So this is more than likely the quality of life device that we've heard rumblings of from Nintendo for a long time. In fact, I saw a photo yesterday after the launch of them showing off several prototypes of this and them talking about how hard it was to get the motion sensor right and all of the guts and internals.
And that patent we talked about a few weeks ago.
Yes, the patent for the wireless base. Guess what it is? It's an alarm clock. So basically what this is, guys, if you haven't heard, is Nintendo made an alarm clock for your house.
For $100.
For $100. It's red, it's plastic, it has a squishy LED bulb on top of it. It looks like it's for kids, but guess what? It's already sold out in all three Nintendo.
That bulb is like a giant crown you choose your options.
Yes. Yes.
So it isn't
Already.
just there to look cute. It does have a function.
Well, yeah. Already sold out in Japan in 3 locations of Nintendo stores. Already sold out in New York. Already sold out online.
And in
Yeah.
Japan?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. 3 locations in Japan. All 3 Nintendo stores in Japan. Osaka, Kyoto,
Oh,
Tokyo, all sold out.
yeah. And our New York
Um,
one,
mhm,
I think, also sold out. So, yeah.
yep. So Alarmo features 5 themes out of the box. Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, um,
Pikmin.
Pikmin 4, Splatoon 3, and Ring Fit Adventure.
Oh,
Because
right. That's the one I forgot.
I really want to wake up thinking about how I need to sweat and not be fat. Um, as well as offering features like motion sensing you waking up and finally getting out of bed, which will then play a fanfare. It will show you your
Yeah. And then,
movements during the
so,
night.
so as you're wiggling around in your half woken state, then the thing picks up your motions and then makes more annoying noises like ink splats or coins or rupees
Yes,
or whatever, depending
y'all.
on what the theme is,
I
which I think that
like
would be really annoying.
watching the video. I went, this would annoy me awake, which I guess is the point,
That is
right?
the point.
If you do not wake up in time, like if your alarm keeps, and this is what baffles me, because it's like the Mario Odyssey one they showed literally started playing Jump Up Superstar. And then it's like, if you don't wake up 20 minutes after your alarm, who's going to lay in bed and listen to Jump Up Superstar play for 20 minutes while coins ding in the background? If you don't do that, Bowser shows up and starts yelling at you. Like, and it just gets louder and louder and louder. And then you get up and it goes, bah, 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 yeah. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
This is bizarre.
Yeah.
It's
And of course,
absolutely
it is not
crazy.
meant for people who have partners that share a bed because they
Yes.
won't be able to differentiate between who's moving.
Yeah, I was going to come to that eventually. Like, I don't like as if people need more fodder to make fun of video game players, gamers. It's like,
Right.
oh, you sleep alone, so you get an alarm out. Like,
But it's sold out.
yeah. So,
So somebody
we
wants it.
before we give our thoughts, I want to get to our listeners' thoughts. I asked this question on our question of the week this week. Nintendo unveiled their quality of life device, Sound Clock Alarmo, this week. What are your thoughts? Will you be getting one? Why or why not? And what themes do you hope come to Alarmo? By the way, they did show off 2 additional themes coming in a future update: Mario Kart 8 and Animal Crossing, which,
And apparently it's
every
already been patched to 2.0.
it has. It was a day one release day update to add in a feature. I'm not sure
Yeah.
which one
I
it was.
I
I'll
saw the
go.
article, but
Yeah,
I'll check
here it
into it real
is. I've
quick.
got it. I got it. Added moderate mode as a mode option, added movement record as a records feature. This will automatically display in records if you go to bed during bedtime. You can also set this to on or off, and records menu distance from bed can now be set to 20 inches for queen and king size beds. When check sensor zone is run, an estimated position of movement will now be displayed. And Nintendo's favorite thing to include in every update: general system stability improvements to enhance the user's experience. I'm glad they sprinkled that on top. And look, y'all, everybody wants to be woken up by the sound of Mario skid dashing and going wahoo as you yawn and stretch in bed, right?
Right.
It's
Oh,
sold
anyway.
out. Must be.
Tim, no, we're going to get to that. I'm going to save what I'm going to say. Let's see what you said. What are your answers from our community? Jamie Penny says Alarmo is Nintendo to an absolute T, something quirky, something different, something that people will enjoy. Having said that, though, the pricing of Australian $160 is steep, so it must have some decent tech inside with all the movement tracking, etc. The pre-ordering system for Alarmo is very interesting, and being a ballot system with 2 waves before being fully released to everyone in their online shop in March 2025. And it makes me wonder if this pre-order system is a test run of some kind of feature or some kind for future Nintendo hardware products that they exclusively sell. I can't see future consoles doing this to retail contracts, etc. I won't be getting one as I don't need it. My 1-year-old son is enough of an alarm already. So, I did see Sean Capri weigh in on this on Twitter, talking about how I think it's 125 Canadian, or somewhere around there. It's 100, even steeper in Australia. It's 160. That's getting on up there. Hoots says, referring to the reveal video, if you need an alarm clock to wake you up by 7:30, your dad card should be revoked. But in practical terms, I'd rather not give any company
Before you move
money.
on, I set alarms around 7:30 to get up, but I don't have kids to wake me up anymore.
And also,
Right.
some of us are not morning people. We're night owls. So, yes, we need alarms to wake us
Yes.
up, sir. You ain't taking my card,
I took
sir.
it as your kids are probably waking you up before 7:30 anyway. So if you need a 7:30 alarm, you're not
Right.
up being a dad. That, if you have kids that little. So that, anyway. He does
Okay.
say, in practical terms, I'd rather not give any company money, even Nintendo, to gather data on me and my spouse's sleeping habits. I also don't know that waking up to the sounds of my favorite video games will make that activity any more appealing. Not that my wife would allow my alarm clock to go off for longer than 5 seconds anyway. The availability of this product, along with recent NSO playtest announcement, also gives me cause for concern. I suppose they've been doing this for a little while now, but I hate it when companies offer paid subscriptions that do little more than give you an opportunity to buy more expensive stuff. I'm really hoping I'm not going to need the NSO Plus expansion pack to purchase a special edition Switch 2 when the time comes. Victaris GX says Alarmo's weird and cool, and I'm here for it. However, the price point and supply method have my eyebrows raised. $100 is kind of high for a Nintendo licensed clock. Also, gatekeeping it behind an NSO membership or NYC store exclusivity leads me to believe there are not very many units available. See, it's sold out everywhere. He says, hell, the online orders could be sold out by the time you read this tonight.
Yep.
In short, I'd love to get this for my kids, but I don't think I have the disposable income to do that right this minute. Darth Platypus says, it is a weird out of left field thing that is so Nintendo, but the price point I'm leaning toward, or at the price point I'm leaning toward no. Mecha Dragon 101, it's a bit random, not going to lie, especially since no one uses an actual alarm clock these days. Every time I see things like this from Nintendo, I'm like, what is this? Then I remember how they were a toy company at first for like a century. CW5298 says, I intend on purchasing one because it's fun and why not? Would be cool if it could eventually sync with Pokemon Sleep. I'd love to see a Mario Kart theme added. Well, your wish is granted. You're welcome. Nintendo Dad's phoned it in for you. There you go. Questions from, well, we'll get to questions here in a minute. Guys, what do you think? What is your honest reaction to Alarmo?
Yay, something crazy from Nintendo. Woo!
I knew you were going to say this. I knew it.
Yeah, this is I have other technology that I use to wake me up. In fact, I don't know if this will play. This is what I use as my ringtone to wake up, from my iPad. If
We can't hear it. I don't know if there you go. Nice.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
which it was taken from E3 2011 when they raised up the orchestra pit and
Oh
the
yeah,
story start. That was from that. So that's what I use for my alarm, and it works well.
yeah.
Very cool.
So I got to go back to Hoots's comment where he said his wife would not allow his alarm clock to go off longer than 5 seconds.
Right.
That is my wife.
Yes.
And that's why when they announced this thing, I just turned off the video. I was just like, there's no way this would work in my house. Then hearing that it doesn't work if you have someone else in your bed, that doesn't work. I think, and I said this on Twitter, and I'm surprised some people didn't come for me. But anyway, I don't get a lot of engagement on X anymore. I don't know. It's their new, it's the way they've messed everything up. Um, I think this is lame and it's unnecessary. I just,
It's
of
lame and
course,
unnecessary because you can't get it.
no, not because I can't get it. I just think it. Why does it need to exist? 99.9% of people that I know wake up with their phone. There's an alarm on there. I already have a 1,000 something dollar piece of equipment sitting beside me on the bed or beside me on my bedside table that wakes me up every morning. It puts me to sleep at night with rain sounds, which this also does ambient noise and all kinds of stuff like that. But
Hmm.
it's like ambient noise from Pikmin. I don't want to be laying in the dark hearing with some flowery music playing behind me. Like, I can see this being a thing for kids, but they did not market this toward kids. There's not even any kids in the video.
Right.
It's all adults. And so I just like,
Single adults.
yeah, I'm not gonna like, I guess there's a market for it because it's sold out, but I just don't understand. Like when you have people, I saw someone else say this online. When people have literally been on their knees begging for information about your next console, when people are asking, when can we see what's next? You go, hey, hold up, here's an alarm clock
Yeah, but what's that?
with an alarm clock with outdated game themes. Mario
It's not
Odyssey
outdated.
is 7
It's
years
the
old.
characters though. Yeah, it's based on the last games that those characters came out on, except well, I guess Mario's on Odyssey, not Wonder, but still, it's still characters and it's based on
It's based on Breath of the Wild.
yeah, the most popular of the two last Zelda games. It's Breath of the Wild was more sold more than Tears of the Kingdom.
I just think
Way
that
more.
this is Nintendo saying, you know what, we need some more money.
No, well, of course they're a company. They're going to want more money, of course. But and it goes along with the whole quality of life thing that they or whatever they called it before. But I understand your point of like using. You made a couple good points, but my thing is that I think that the age of the games they're using has doesn't matter because it's not necessarily it's based on the most popular versions of those games. I'm right. Splatoon is the last version, Splatoon 3.
I track with your argument, except for the fact that if they were going for the most popular games on Nintendo Switch theory, they would have swapped out Ring Fit Adventure and Pikmin with Mario Kart and Animal Crossing already. It would already be there.
Yeah, who knows why that was there late. But
That's
Ring Fit was a hugely popular with that same crowd. I'm imagining that same market that they're trying to market this alarm clock to.
I mean, and maybe, you know, Tim, I mean, like, I really am trying, I think, to see the upside to it. And I don't see it. I don't, I
Right.
think this is like, I would really just love for them to focus on being a video game company. Like, you know, I
But they've
mean,
always said they were going to do other things other than that. They've already like I mean they got theme parks now. They're doing movies. Why not? There's Disney alarm clocks out there.
I can understand them wanting to expand and try new things, and sometimes those things don't do well. This is a weird one in that everything's selling out from their first shipment. I don't know how many they need to sell to break even. Obviously, we'll never know that. So maybe they already broke even, and then anything else is that when they do
they may have.
second with their second shipment will be pure profit. I don't know, but I'm sure there'll be more available because again, because they said that they plan on having it available to all early next year. This was only available earlier for NSO subscribers. So there's going to be
I could
more.
see there being a quote unquote need for it if there was something that it linked to, like in a game. Like, hey, we're gonna reward you for resting with your
Well,
building up experience
I think
slowly for this.
someone else mentions it, but Pokemon Sleep would be a good one.
Yeah. But with it having no integration to anything else, I mean, I kind of come back to like there's a subsection of people who like Nintendo could literally box up dog turds with their logos stamped on it and people would sell them out. These are the same people who bought boxes of literal manure from Cards Against Humanity because they thought a special card was in there, and then people dug through the boxed and shipped manure to get the card that did not exist. And I'm not saying that it's a bait and switch with Alarmo. I just don't like it. Did not land at all for me. And
Right.
you're right, Tim. You keep coming back to for you, and you're right. It did not land for me. It will never land for me. This is like a 100% gut reaction. Like I went, nope.
Well, and for me, I think for me, I also had the same response. It's not for me, but I thought it was cool, but it's not for me because it's not designed for people like me. Like you said,
Yeah.
you can't use it with two people, and so that's out the window for me. And
Yeah.
also the price point made it out the window for me too.
Mm-hmm.
$100 for a alarm
Well,
clock is kind of like,
we're going to be at the Nintendo store in about 3 weeks in New York, my son and I, and he intends to walk in and buy one. And I'm
awesome.
like,
Well,
okay,
he's the audience for it.
I told him, I said, you work and that's your money. If
Yeah.
that's what you want to do, I was very blatant and I said, I am not spending the family's money on an alarm. I'm not doing it. You
Right.
already have one on your phone that you don't listen to.
Yeah.
Doesn't wake you up. So if you think Mario or Zelda will get you out of bed in the morning, great. Awesome. So, and
Well, we were thinking about getting Sam one for Christmas because so
I do think that for like if you want to look at positives, I think for people who are Nintendo fans, this is a great piece, right? Like it's unique. It captures Nintendo's spirit. It's playful. It's the Mad Toy Company, whatever,
yeah.
coming
And
out.
that's probably the majority of
And
people who bought that, right, Marty?
exactly. But I don't like for me, I don't it's not doing anything for me. I would rather
Right.
them just do Switch 2 and make some games. Like I just want to play video games.
Yeah, that is the other thing though too. I kind of disagree with you on is I don't think they need to wait to get Switch 2 out first before they start announcing other things. I don't see the problem with announcing an alarm clock. We already know that Switch 2 is going to eventually be announced um, between now and
March.
the end of March. So
Yeah.
it's getting closer. We know it's coming. If they hadn't said anything, if we were still wondering when that was going to be announced, then I could see being a little bit more perturbed at that. But for me, I'm not trying to say you have to now change your mind. I'm just saying for me that them announcing an alarm clock has no bearing on the Switch 2 announcement for me.
No, and I don't let me be clear that I don't think I'm saying that. or I didn't mean to say that. That's not
Okay.
what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that I would just prefer that they don't release an alarm clock at all and just release Switch 2.
Okay.
I like concentrate on
You're like, give me Switch
that.
2 and then you can release whatever else you want to everybody else.
Well, and here's why, Tim, you mentioned theme parks and movies and all kinds of stuff like that. That's great, but that's not what Nintendo is known for. Nintendo is not known for alarm clocks. Nintendo is known for making great systems and great games. Like make the main thing the main thing. And I see your point, though, that they don't have to not do other things to make the main thing the main thing. But it's just I don't know.
You want your Switch 2. I want Switch 2
I've
also.
heard people say before. There's a phrase I've heard before. It went over like a lead balloon, and that's how I felt about it. Like
You tripped over it.
there's not any fiber of my being that wants an Alarmo at all. A couple of questions from the community that I thought we would get to here. Zablanc says Alarmo can wake you up with 5 possible games: Mario, Splatoon, Zelda, Ring Fit, and Pikmin, which are great picks. What's a game that would be a terrible idea to wake up to?
First thing I thought of when I read this, and this happened to me in real life. But, so first, my real life example, your traditional alarm clock's tuned to a radio station, volume hiked up. When the time hits, it plays the radio, and whatever's on the radio is what I wake up to. At that exact moment when the radio kicked on, it did a Tarzan yell. So my game is Jungle King.
Okay.
And I have an example here.
Oh my gosh.
That's Jungle King.
That took up 3/4 of the cartridge's memory there, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, this was arcade.
Oh,
an
okay.
arcade. So
Okay.
I'm sure it ate up a good ROM chip.
That took out a bunch of our listeners too, probably.
Well, I think the compression will shrink it down when I.
Tim, what about you? The worst, terrible idea to wake up to.
I don't know. If you got one, go for it, Marty. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
I was thinking Wario. Like, I love Wario, but I don't want to hear that in the morning. Like, I don't want to hear like that like WarioWare Mega Micro Games music, like and then Wario's in the background. Wow, I'm not gonna win. Like you're moving around and it's just like him farting, and so it sounds like my bedroom every morning anyway. It's like he's on the screen eating garlic. That would be terrible. You don't have one?
I have one. I can't think of the character's name in Animal Crossing. You remember when if you didn't shut down Animal Crossing or save it correctly?
Yeah, the thing with no face.
Resetti.
Or Resetti.
Resetti. That waking you up angrily.
Resetti spaghetti. Yeah, I love it. Mecha says the Guardian theme, like that, just that piano. Right. Hear that thing targeting you. I'm getting up. I'm getting up. I'm up. Mecha also asked.
I actually saw a comic of that already.
Yes.
It was a picture of an Alarmo and Link sleeping next to it, and then the next panel is it grows legs and has a laser pointer at its head.
Yeah, that comic was funny.
I like it. Mecha also asked Nintendo, or says this: Nintendo is doing something interesting with Alarmo by having you switch on, have to have Switch Online to purchase it, and then later on they'll sell it at retail stores in a few months. My question is, do you think this is an effective way to combat scalpers when the Switch 2 launches, or any product by Nintendo?
Nope.
So scalpers are still buying this.
Yep. That's the problem. Those scalpers probably bought up a good amount of those, and then if you go look on eBay right now, I'm sure they're going to be like,
"That's what
we have it in hand."
Nintendo Alarmo listed at $399.99, free shipping from Japan. Nintendo 389.97, Alarmo 299.99, 137.50. Yeah. There, yeah.
That's everybody who was able to get one, and maybe, or I don't know if you could order multiples.
So I will say this. There's only 17 on eBay right now. So I'm not saying it's better. It's even good because these people, why are you doing this? This is stupid.
Mhm.
But I noticed lately on the same kind of subject, Sony in Japan is restricting sales of the PS5 Pro 30th edition to people who have logged a certain amount of hours on PlayStation Network.
I do have to give them credit, like all these companies credit for trying something, because they
Yes.
keep trying different things to combat what we've noticed to be a problem.
I say this is 100% them testing selling Switch 2 to consumers this
Oh
way.
yeah, that
100%.
and I agree with that. And I hope as part of it they include oh, we're sold out now, but you can put yourself on a waiting list and you'll get it when you get it.
Yep.
That way
I
Yeah.
want that. I want that.
that way people we don't have to do what we had to do 4 years ago with the Xbox and the PlayStation.
Oh.
Or
Or
just
the
call it.
Switch. Do you remember when it's like you got to go to a physical retail store and line up? Thankfully I had GameStop still here.
Yeah.
Now it's a 30-minute
Oh,
drive.
we're only
wanna
doing
go.
23 pre-orders and you're the 25th in line, so screw off.
Yep.
Or just do pre-orders, and whatever number you fall, here's the number of pre-order you're going to be in this wave.
Well, if they're
Yeah,
doing what
like Playdate did.
Play
That
date.
worked
Yeah,
yeah.
perfect.
exactly.
If they're doing what they're
And
supposedly they've said
Steam
they're doing,
Deck.
which is stockpiling in order to meet demand at the beginning,
Yeah.
then maybe it will be better. But no, I don't think this is going to completely stop scalpers, but I think it helps. I
Yes.
think
Well, I
you've got
think what it
people who want
does
it.
what it
It
does
gives
help stop is scalpers buying 10 to 20 at a time. You know, if
Right.
they buy their one or two and want to scalp them, that's fine. That's on them.
and
But
honestly, I
if
kind of
they want
feel
to burn
like
your
it should
purchase
be.
to do that, sure. But you're not.
It should be like, look, you have to sign in, you have to have a Nintendo Network ID, you have to have the expansion pass, and you get one in the beginning. And then we open it up gradually as it moves out. And I know some
Yeah.
people are going to be like, but I need two for my household. Well, we got to start
If you
somewhere.
have the family plan, you've got two accounts.
Right.
Each one can do its own purchase.
You have 10 family accounts. Anyway,
Or eight.
totally, or 8. That's right. That's right. You have 8. So there you go. So yes or no question. Jesse, will you ever buy Alarmo?
No.
Tim, will you ever buy Alarmo?
Yes, not for me, but yes.
Okay. That's my answer as well. Will it be in my house? I won't buy it, but will there be one in my house? Yes, probably. Now, if Nintendo said, "Hey, we're all sending you an Alarmo," okay, I probably wouldn't. I don't even know that I'd take mine out of the box. But
Look, Marty's on
again,
eBay
But
selling his for
no,
$400.
yeah, I was gonna
again,
say,
no,
would it
Tim.
hit eBay
Listen,
or would you shelve it?
Alarmo would survive exactly 24 hours in my house before my wife rolled across the bed, grabbed it,
And
and
threw
swung
out
it
the
up
window.
against the wall.
Right. No, I believe you.
Just don't.
Believe you.
We don't play in the morning. We don't
No.
play.
No.
So that's just the way it is. So yeah. Anyway, that's our thoughts on Alarmo. Let's talk about what we've been playing, shall we?
Well, before we do that, we have someone else's thoughts on Alarmo.
Oh, that's right. Totally forgot. Mr. Justin Masson, we asked him, since he couldn't be on the show tonight, to record a video, and we thought, oh, he'll, do a 2-minute video. No, he did 8.5 minutes. And we're going to play that for you right here because we want to get his thoughts. It is going to go up on our YouTube channel. So if you want to skip this in the audio version, since you're not seeing it, if you want to watch him talk about Alarmo, it'll be up after it'll be up tomorrow, right after the show goes live. And so y'all take a listen.
Probably give it a
here.
few days. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. We'll
Schedule
see.
it. We'll see.
We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll do it. We'll do it when we
Hey,
want
folks,
to. Do it. Sorry.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Yes.
what's going on? Justin Masson here. Hey, I'm sorry I am not able to make it on today. Episode 499, one away from 500 for Nintendo Dads. But listen, this week Nintendo came out with a banger, brand new product. The product that we were all asking for, the console, the Nintendo Switch 2 finally arrived. Oh no, that's not what happened at all this week. Man, was it fun. I greatly enjoyed yesterday watching the internet and all the Nintendo man-child babies crying that the Nintendo Switch 2 wasn't what was released, and that indeed it was you son of a gun, it was an alarm it was an alarm clock, Nintendo announced alarm clock. Oh, and y'all were mad. Man, was the internet mad. The man-child Nintendo fans throwing a fit. This isn't what we wanted. Show me the Switch 2. Man. Oh, my God. It was hilarious. You crazy buggers. Whew. Yeah. Well, yeah, so this got announced. And so let me tell, listen, everybody's angry about it. But here's my argument. This is fantastic. This doesn't also mean, oh my gosh, Nintendo doesn't actually have the Switch 2. The sky is falling. There's no more games. What's going to happen? They make alarm clocks. This is Nintendo quintessentially doing what Nintendo does absolutely best, which is be weird sometimes. Be weird with very little risk, all right? So let's talk about the alarm clock. Let's talk about Alarmo. Now, full transparency, I've already ordered one. I ordered it when it came out. Why? Because I really think it would be a very interesting unboxing. I want to see more about it. And I have a child who struggles to get out of bed. So if this will make louder sounds and incentivize her to get out of bed, sure, look at we're in. But let's talk about it. First, remember how a couple of weeks ago we were all hypothesizing about what that patent was for the motion sensor, and it requires a USB cord, and it's got to be an extra screen that's put on the Nintendo Switch 2, blah, blah, blah. No, it's a motion sensor at the top of the alarm so that when you move or get out of bed, it plays a chime for you. Oh my gosh, this is I don't know. Y'all are mad, y'all are angry. I think this is funny. Now, sure look it. Honestly though, price is a little bit high. Price is a touch high. However, lots of technology baked in this bugger, so I can't really fault it. Now you're looking at, if you're watching this, I'm showing it video $100 USD. It's 130 in Canada. So before you start whining, $100, 130 in Canada, and I think it's 160 in Australia. So pump your brakes, all right? Simmer down a little bit. I will still agree though, it's expensive overall. Let's just look at this thing, right? By the way, this is available now. You can pre-order it. I've already pre-ordered it, but it's available at the Nintendo store. Apparently sold out already. Apparently sold out. We got some great photos of an alarm clock, right? There you go. Let's scroll down. Let's talk about what's inside of it, right? So there's a video. I'm not going to play the video. You've probably seen. Listen, if you haven't seen the video, go see the video. But how does it work? Select a title, pick a scene, set a time, and let Alarmo handle the rest. In the morning, you'll experience an immersive sound and music from the scene you picked, followed by a game element arriving to wake you up. Right? So before the alarm, it's a fun little image, just chilling, just relaxing, right? And then when the alarm goes off, look at that, some motion, right? We're getting up, we're moving. And then after a few seconds, someone or something on the screen will appear and help you kind of get moving a little bit more. And then there's a brief snooze with some fun animations. And then when it's time to get up, you stay too long, the alarm gets more intense and more aggressive until and a visitor will show up to get you motivated, right? Then when you get out, surprise, alarm, yay, you did it, fantastic. All this because it's got a one. Now, by the way, They've got a bunch. Now, they said here, choose from 35 scenes inspired by Nintendo Switch games like Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda. And if you link up your account, titles like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Animal Crossing is free updates. So this thing's connected to the internet. It's got some free updates that are pushed out. This is fun to show up, right? So you see some images of Mario Odyssey throwing a hat. And look at that. Waking up to Link. Right, and the Splatoon 3, Pikmin,
The
right?
fonts change
like the
based on the
workout
game.
guy.
That's
That's
cool.
a little aggressive, right? But there we see it in motion, right? It's more than just a clock. It's an all-day experience. Hourly chimes, right? Wake up the way you want to. Now, here's the thing. It's hands-free. This is the tracking, right? It's tracking your movement so that you end up actually getting out of bed finally. Now, some of you are like, well, there's 2 people in my bed. I don't know what to tell you, all right? Simmer down. Okay, track your sleep patterns. That's fun. There's no additional content. You remember Pokemon Sleep? This is like Nintendo Sleep, but without a tracker. This is so funny. There's a button on the top for confirmation. Look at that. You get mail. There's a back button. There's a motion
He's
sensor
having so
built
much
in, a
fun with
brightness
this.
sensor, a 2.8-inch LCD screen. Yeah, this is going to cost some money, right? So don't be shocked. Look at the back of it. Look at that. Little speaker back there, a little USB-C port. What's in the box? Right? Some stuff. Like, listen, here's the deal. All right. All you people that are freaking out about this thing, it's a bit of fun. Nintendo gets to be weird. Nintendo is trying to be a lifestyle brand beyond just the video games. They're in parks. They have clothing, right? This is part of their world domination. This is critical. Here's the deal. If the Pokemon company did something like this, we all wouldn't be upset. Okay? Listen. Have a bit of fun. It's Mario. This is playful. I think this is fun. I think this is great. Like I said, this is my daughter is going to use this to try and get her out of bed. I'm going to be honest. If she doesn't use it, I'm going to put it in my office. I'm going to set my little alarm clock here for when it is time for me to be done work. And so it goes off as a reminder. Great. And then when I get up, it celebrates me getting up and leaving work. I'm okay with that. It's fine. It's fine. All right. It's fine. So calm down. This is Nintendo being weird. You want a weird Nintendo. Weird Nintendo, when Nintendo does super weird things like this means they're comfortable. They're feeling okay. They're taking a risk on something. Like, I don't know. If you're upset about this, take a breath, calm down. This doesn't mean the Switch 2 isn't coming out. It means that your expectations are way out of whack, all right? When Nintendo releases something, like, this is a problem. Everyone's foaming at the mouth. I want some new information. So Nintendo finally releases an alarm clock. You absolutely lose your mind. Take a breath, son. All right? You ain't hearing about the Switch 2 till 2025. I told you this. If this is your first time here, listen, here's a freebie. You ain't getting it until 2025. If this is like you've been here more than once, you've heard me say this, that's on you for not listening. All right? That's on you.
Even though he predicted it would be announced this year.
You're not going to say anything till early 2025, so calm yourself. Calm yourself and have a bit of fun. It's an alarm clock, all right? You crazy buggers. All right. Yeah, so that's it for me. I've got an Alarmo showing up my house in the next couple of weeks. It'll be fun. It'll be a bit of an unboxing. If not, like, this is part of the weird Nintendo history. Remember that time they made an alarm clock? Cool. That's fun, right? It is what it is. It doesn't take away from anything else. Enjoy it. Have a bit of fun. Go play the games in your back catalog. Don't tell me you don't have games to play, all right? And by the way, Mario Party Jamboree is coming out next week. And have you finished Echoes? And by the way, Brothership's on the way. So take a moment, take a pill, chill down, have a bit of a laugh, all right? It's an alarm clock, okay? Simmer down. This has been your healthy moment of reflection. Take care. I'll see you guys in episode 500. Bye-bye.
Felt like that was personal.
He didn't hear anything you said.
No, but I think he just predicted it. Well, let's not expect a video game company to release video games. Let's let them make an alarm clock. It's cool. Totally fine. Thanks for keeping it in perspective, Justin. That's why we keep you around. Let's talk about what we've been playing, shall we? Holy games, Tim. You've been playing a lot. We'll start with
Yes.
you. Let's do it.
Well, I'll start off. I'll leave the game we all been playing for last, but I played a few games that are out on our channel for first looks. Turbo Boost Racing, which was a game that was released. It's a racing game uh, that focuses on boosting, nitro and all that kind of stuff. It does all the typical things that you would find in a racing game where you can modify your vehicle, make it better to be able to win races. There's a first look on that. You will hear my opinion on that game there from playing it.
That you always know when Tim didn't like a game because he won't say it publicly. He'll just he'll make you watch the video.
It wasn't. I play a lot of racing games, so nothing stood out for me on that racing game. So it was like, if you are wanting people who are into racing games to play this, it's great if play a lot, and it looked great too. Don't get me wrong, that was probably the plus of that game. It looked really good on the Switch, and it felt like I was moving fast. Everything else seemed basic or mid, as people would say. So it was just here's a racing game. It wasn't enough for me to be like, oh, this is a new thing or something that wants me to keep going back. So that was for me. And that's how I stated it in my first impressions of it. The next one I did was Zombie Derby Pixel Survival. This is just plain stupid fun. It's basically it's a pixelated design, graphics, where you're souping up a vehicle to get through a zombie zombie ridden track. And you have to survive it by building up your vehicle to be able to get through it, get through obstacles, jump over obstacles, get through zombies, all that kind of stuff. And it was just stupid, hilarious fun. And I enjoyed the what I played of it so far. And again, I have a first look of it there, and you could probably tell from what I played there that I was having probably a little too much fun blowing up zombies. So, but it's again, it was really fun. I can't remember the price of it right now, but it was a lot of fun. I think I want to say it was $5 or something like that. I got
I'm
the
looking
store
it up.
open here. Okay. Yeah, it was for the price of it, it was a lot of fun. And
$5.
yeah, you could just jump into it, get some runs in and build up your vehicle to get through a longer race or whatever. So like I said, it was stupid fun. And then the other one was Road Defense Outsiders. This is an isometric roguelike game where you have to, and it has tower defense in it as well, where you use kind of like if you've played Vampire Survivor or anything like that, where you go in and you use twin sticks to get through and kill things or whatever and make it to the next round, or at least make it to the where you can unlock a card that you can use to be able to boost your character or your towers, if you will, um, to make your run go longer. That's what it's basically doing. You update yourself, your weapon, or your towers to defend the road that you're trying to let drivers pass. And when they pass successfully, you get money from them to be able to then in turn upgrade your stuff. You
So
also
you're
get
collecting tolls.
Yes, you are correct, collecting tolls. And then you also are um again, you get cards, like if you kill so many people or defend so many cars, you get boosts to be able to give the cars more armor or give yourself more armor or give your towers more a better weapon or up the level of that weapon. Um Along with using money too, so you can get it that way, or you can get a health boost, or all kinds of different stuff. And it is roguelike, so when you die, you lose all that stuff and you start over. But depending on how many kills you get, you can purchase ongoing things that you can keep each run. So again, if even though you might have lost something from the last run, if you had enough kills or reached a certain number of kills, you can then purchase add-ons to either give yourself more health to start with, or more money to start with, or more armor to start with for yourself, or something to start with for your towers, or something to start with for the cars. So there's a lot of variety that you can build on and to see how much farther you can get each time. Um, again, Road Defense Outsiders, I had a lot of fun with that as well, and we'll be jumping back into that as soon as I'm done with The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, because that has been taking most of my time and concentration. These guys are farther than I am, but I've gotten a little bit further into the what did you guys say it was the after you get
Where
the rifts, you got to then unlock the wisdom things or something like that. The goddesses. It was the goddesses, right?
stations, stanchions, sanctions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So from the
that's
from the
where I'm
three
at. I'm trying to
goddesses.
unlock the first one, and that's where I'm at in Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Jesse, why don't you talk about what you've been playing? Then we'll round out with some
Okay,
Echoes of Wisdom talk.
so skipping Echoes until last, the other game I started was Picross Records of the Shield Hero. So this is another Jupiter Picross title that has an anime crossover. This one does something a little different that I'm liking. It normally Jupiter games have a Picross and then Mega Picross in as a separate option in addition to their color Picross and their extra giant Picrosses, etc. But this one combines them both into a single option, and you can toggle them between with the Y button once you're in there because they're the same 150 puzzles anyway. What depending on which mode you do, you're just doing it the same puzzle twice with different hints. So putting it into one option makes sense, and I like that. The reason why they made room for a new option is they have an option called chapters. So they if, I haven't seen this anime, so I can't speak to it itself, but normally a season of anime will have about 12 or 13 episodes. So if this one has 12 episodes, it would make sense because there are 12 episodes in that option. And then episode 1 will, have a set of the puzzles, and these are the same puzzles from the original 150, but they're just kind of in a different order. A lot of them are probably the characters that were introduced in that chapter. The shields, the swords, the other equipment that's introduced. So you can either just do them in the 150 order from there, or you can do them in the chapters. Either way, you're doing the puzzles one way or the other. So I think I'm on chapter 5 right now. So if I'm, about a third of the way through it. And so far each chapter had one giant puzzle that's either 30 by 30 or 40 by 30. But I think there are 8 total. So every chapter isn't going to have one. But so far, every chapter had one. And, I like these puzzles. They're fun.
Of
Good
course.
deal. Well, speaking of puzzles, all of us have been puzzling our way through Echoes of Wisdom, uh, and some to a varying degree of enjoyment, more than others. And
That's a
so,
nice way to put it.
yeah, so as Tim said, yeah, I'm probably further along than most, or all of us. I've gotten 2 of the goddess sanctions, which are kind of the second half of the game, and about to start on the third tonight. What I've been working on this week is just getting the map as opened up as possible. So I got that second. I beat. When the so there's. I guess this. I guess I'm more than halfway. I feel like I'm more than halfway. Um, if you're playing the game, you know that you start out and there's 3 dungeons, and then there's a dungeon or a rift dungeon at Hyrule Castle. That's kind of the midpoint of the game. And then or I think it's the midpoint of the game. Again, just going on my experience. Then that opens up 3 other large rifts that you have to go and fix. And you can do those just like the first ones in any order. If you remember, we talked about which one did you go to first after the first initial large rift. And, you go to Gerudo or Jabul Waters. Well, this time you can go to Goron City or Mount Hibra or Farron Woods. So Tim and I both,
Wetlands.
Farron Wetlands, sorry. Yeah. So Tim and I both chose to go to Farron Woods first. And so I finished that. He's still working on it. I've also finished Goron City.
Yeah, I did the
And
Gorons first and then went north
okay, so
and did
Jesse
not
took an
finish.
entirely different route, and you went to the Mount Hebra, which is where you decided to put down the game.
Yeah,
And
I'm done.
so
I tapped
talk
out.
a little bit about that. I know last week you shared about some of the perception depth issues that you were having. What is that? Why you chose to put it down, or
No,
ultimately?
this dungeon adds new type of puzzle that hasn't been in anything else yet. And talking to my son, I figured it out the first time, but then near the end of the puzzle, they give it to me again, but I don't know how to solve it. And there's probably 2 or 3 chests that I saw I don't know how to get. No matter what echo I try to use, I have found no way to get there, and the game has just frustrated me to no end. I think this
Mm,
puzzle is going to be the divisive puzzle. People are going to either love it, best dungeon ever, because of the things it does, or worst dungeon ever because of the things it does. And I'm in the latter half.
gotcha.
One of the
Okay.
things I discovered, and I discovered it in the wetlands. Um, so I don't know if this has something to do with what you are experiencing or trying to figure out, Jesse, is I didn't realize that I could, you know how you can send try to something and take control of it. Um, I
Yeah,
wasn't paying attention and didn't realize you can actually follow it instead of just controlling it. You can actually follow it, whatever it is, and
yeah,
that
like holding
totally
R, I think.
disregards any physics whatsoever when you do that.
No, that's not going to help where I got
Okay.
stuck.
Well, I learned that in the wetlands because I had to get past some waterfalls and was trying to figure out how to do that. And then I realized, oh, there's this, I forget what they call it when you're in there, but there's, instead of hitting ZL, you hit ZR or vice versa, or left or right. But instead of, like I said, instead of controlling it, you're actually letting it control you or letting it pull you or push you or whatever. And that's what helped me solve the waterfall thing.
Mm. Yeah, there's a lot of unconventional stuff, and I think that's why I'm really enjoying this game. I'm taking my time progressing through it, but it gets its hooks in me, and I play for a few hours at a time. Like I can't quit. But there's still a couple little things that I don't necessarily care for all that much. But the good far outweighs the bad to me. And I really do expect this. I'll finish up the main part of the game this weekend. But I did just before coming to record, unlock the ability to have automatons, which are robot monsters that you are able to build um, via meeting someone in the game. And so I've done that. I purposefully wanted to do that after kind of figuring out what was going on there. I wanted to get that before I went to the final dungeon or this next dungeon, so I could take some of them with me. I think I've got most of the stuff that I need to. There's 6 automatons. I've got 2 of them. I think I have enough to finish the last 4. We'll see, because I've scanned a lot of stuff, and
Yeah, it's like
that
I'm pretty
that
sure if any,
list where you scroll across is so tedious.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
they needed to add subcategories and or turn it into more of a wheel.
Yes, monsters, items,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
furniture, and then have beds as a subcategory of furniture
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there
yeah.
are multiple beds to choose from.
If it
And
sparkles,
there are,
you gotta scan it.
yeah,
Yeah. I did end up finding, and I don't guess this is a spoiler because you get one of these, I hope by the time you get where we are, mid game, I think you've figured out there's different levels of the things that you scan, like a moblin.
yeah. I
There's,
have level
the
2
level
of most
one, level
mobs. I
two.
haven't seen a level 3 yet, but my
So
son made mention.
I found a level 3 dark nut that I had to fight. And
Yeah, I think my son
once
said
you
that's
beat
his
it,
favorite Echo.
it's awesome. It's bigger than
Yeah.
all the others. It's in white and gold armor. It's like white armor with gold trim, and it has
Oh,
an
nice.
axe, and its attack is to just take the axe and spin around in circles.
Yeah. Oh, and my son has rolled credits, so
Okay. I
and he
wonder if
told me
there's
that, and my response was, "How? You're
I
dumber
don't
than I am."
totally don't know how totally don't know like how this game ends up. But like in my mind, I'm picturing this moment where you defeat Ganon, like the pig Ganon, and you get to copy him and you use him on the final boss. It's like Bowser from Mario Odyssey. Because guys, let's just be honest. This is just Mario Odyssey in the Zelda universe.
Yeah,
Think about it. Like,
yeah.
we didn't copy enemies in Mario. They were situational. You had to use them. But it's the same concept, right? Like you're going to use your environment to get past the environment.
Yeah. So I know IGN's next podcast is going to be the spoiler cast on it. So I'm debating about whether I should listen to it or not. I'm probably going to, just because I think I'm
Are you
done.
gonna watch the end of the game like I'm about to do with Tears of the Kingdom?
Probably. I'll find a playthrough.
Yeah, I'm there. Well, guys, that's what we've been playing. Let's turn on the community spotlight.
All right, this is where we shine a light on our awesome community, especially everybody who's come through and stopped by, like Ebicel, Mecha Dragon, Miz, Gaming Dad stopped in, everybody who stopped in and through YouTube. Um, so many people, and Friendo stopped by as well. Beer, Victaris. Um, I wish there was an easier way. Chris stopped by. Michael Burgett. Wish there was an easier way to catch these names and stuff. But I'm sorry if I missed your name. But thank you again for always stopping in and watching us do this live. We're doing it live. So, and for those who listen to the podcast, thank you for listening to the podcast. But you can always listen to us every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern or 9:30 Eastern, depending on somewhere between there when we get started. You can come listen and watch live like everybody else. But if you're not sure or always forget, you can always follow us on any of places where you can watch our videos or watch our streams on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Just subscribe to us and get notified when you want to watch us do any of these things. And even like when we do Let's Plays or First Looks, all that kind of stuff, you'll get notified. Also, don't forget that for our community, we try to do contests whenever possible. We worked with the Dads After Dark show to do the Halloween Mayhem. So we got that going on where you can win prizes for just simply submitting a photo or a video or a review of anything that you do during the spooky season. So between now and even through the end of November 4th, because we know a lot of people, are just they're busy and they're going to parties or doing things all the way up through that weekend. And we'd love to see those pictures, and you can share those with us in Discord, in our monthly Mayhem channel, the Halloween Mayhem channel. And if you need more details, you can go to Discord and get those details. We have a few questions that were asked in our community as well. Let's get through those real quick. We got one that was in our email from Russ G, Who got their alarm clock? What's the over/under odds this is going to integrate into the Switch 2 in some way? Thanks for the awesome show. For Justin and all the other Canadian listeners, enjoy your Thanksgiving. So, and he says, I watched the launch video again. Is the Switch 2 gimmick going to be a motion sensor? So
I don't think this has to have anything to do with Switch 2.
Absolutely nothing to do with it.
maybe some notifications or something. Maybe they'll talk to each other. Who knows?
Yeah, I think an app is more likely.
Yeah. And who knows where this Alarmo thing could go? Because it's like, okay, so it's meant for single people, right? We mentioned that already, where it's meant for single people, no partners or anybody else, no pets in the bed, because it could mess up the
I didn't even
sensors.
think of that.
So it could be Nintendo. If this does well, Nintendo could go on to the next thing where maybe there is something that will be able to handle that, or maybe this clock could get an update, or maybe they go on to the next
See,
product.
you'll
Maybe
need
we
two
get a
clocks
Nintendo
and they'll
Watch.
talk to each other.
There you go. That could be an issue, or you can get a Nintendo Watch that senses a lot of this stuff. Can you imagine having? I might pay $200 for a Nintendo Watch that does all kinds of cool stuff.
Don't they already have Nintendo Watch for the theme parks?
They have an armband that's like a magic band.
Yeah.
Right. That's
about
joking.
it. Oh, okay.
All right. Next question is from Darth Platypus. And actually, these next two questions are ones we missed last week.
Right.
Which Nintendo franchise do you think would have the best Halloween special? And would you want it to be scary, silly, spooky, campy, or etc.? What do you guys think of that one?
If it's spooky, Metroid.
Okay. Scary.
Like an alien style
yeah.
Metroid. That would be that would be awesome. Campy. I think Animal Crossing would make a great kids special.
Or something Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion would be.
That would be the silly spooky,
awesome.
I think, right?
Yeah, silly spooky.
Yep. I like it. What if Animal Crossing was like you're saying campy, but themed around like Friday the 13th, Silver Lake, or whatever. But it was Animal Crossing.
He's waited long enough for his money, and now he's had enough. He'll get his bells, but with blood.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
Ding-a-ling.
Next part of his question, I would think an animal or animated Legend of Zelda Halloween special could be fun since there generally seems to be a graveyard in the game, but you'd have to get some other team then excuse me, princess, to do it.
Yeah.
You have to incorporate pumpkin throwing in some way.
There you go. Or chicken catching. I don't know. If you had to consume one, would you rather have dubious food or an unfortunate smoothie?
Oh, this is a good question. Unfortunately, I've had both of those in life.
Yeah.
Dubious food, probably, because most of the things that we eat here in the South are probably dubious food. Like, should you fry that? Nope. But do we? Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm more likely to eat something than drink something that's iffy.
That's a hard one. I was thinking smoothie.
Really?
I was.
I think it comes down to like mouthfeel.
Yeah.
But
I guess, maybe not I guess it depends all on the smell too. Like if it smells dubious or unfortunate, then it's going to be hard either way. I might start hurling before it even goes down.
If it has a dubious smell, that's not good.
You gotta plug your nose.
It's an unfortunate smell. Yeah.
I'd have to plug my nose.
We did this thing for a while. Like we drank greens. Like, but like if you like we'd mix them. You can mix them
Yeah.
up with water or milk or
Mix it
whatever.
up with something. Yeah.
But okay, so there were two flavors available. And for the first one that we got was berry. The second one we got was chocolate. Chocolate was much better. Like you wake up in the morning and it literally tastes like drinking like a chocolate shake, like a frothy chocolate shake, because we would blend it up
Yeah.
with milk. But the first ones we were just putting the powder in water and stirring it with the berry kind, and it tasted like fruity
Metamucil.
fruity grass. It still had
Yeah.
like that grass,
Yeah.
like it tasted like grass smells when you mow.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to hold my nose every time. Like
Yeah.
I would gag because I just couldn't get past that like very grassy, leafy. Bleh. And even now it's ugh, ugh.
Yep. I wonder if you were given dubious food or unfortunate smoothie, if you could add anything to help go down. Like, let me just add a little red hot sauce to this dubious food, or let me add a little bit
Yeah.
of a shot of vanilla to the unfortunate
Okay.
smoothie. All right. And the last question that we missed last week was from Zablock. What movie scared you the most as a kid?
Ooh.
So I don't do scary things, so I purposely avoid movies that are flagged as scary. But the movie that kind of upset me the most, I didn't want anything to do with, would be The Dark Crystal.
Oh gosh, that's creepy as heck, man. All those
I can see that.
puppets and they're all like their hair's all stringy and
They're
ugh,
definitely creepy looking. Yeah.
yeah.
For me, it was Children of the Corn.
Mm.
That one. No, I was too young to watch it in the first place.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah. I wasn't a scary movie kid either. Like my parents didn't let me watch that and I didn't want to, but I've always had this like, and maybe it's because of that, but I've always had this like morbid curiosity of scary things. Um, Honestly feel like for me that it was the only movie that I can ever remember watching as a kid that was scary at the time was Gremlins. And my
Yeah, yeah.
parents took me to the drive-in theater when I was very young, and I have this core memory,
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah, with how old you would have been at the time, that would have been a bad movie to
crying,
watch.
crying in the back seat but then like Gizmo came out, and I was like, oh, hmm. My mom was like, yeah, you decided you liked that movie, but like I was begging them to go home. I don't want to see Gremlins. I don't want to. But now Gremlins is great. I
Of
love it.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
It terrified me as a
I don't
kid.
remember how old my kids were when I showed them, but I remember. No, my youngest didn't like it.
That's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I've always loved the
We
Gremlins,
watched it a
so
few
I was old
years ago.
enough to appreciate it. Apparently, when it was new.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one that I would add to like our yearly rotation of Christmas movies that we watch, every year. But yeah, that scared the
Like
crap. And I
like
would
Die
say,
Hard. I gotta watch that every Christmas.
yeah, like as a kid though, like I knew who Freddy Krueger and Jason were and all that, but I was
Yeah,
terrified of Freddy Krueger. Terrified. Like something that comes and attacks you in when you go to sleep. Terrified.
Yep. I could see that
Awful. Awful.
for
I
sure.
still don't like spooky things. So yeah. Well, guys, that is episode 499 of Nintendo Dads. 499. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight as we draw ever closer to the big 500
coming.
next
It's
week.
coming.
We want to
We
say a
made it.
huge thanks as we close out the show to our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger, Jacqueline Amira, RJ Kern, as well as our 100 plus other patrons. And folks who join us on our Discord via either Patreon subscription or Twitch Prime subscription. You can sub there and get access to our Discord as well. Over 1,450 Twitch followers and over 7,700 YouTube subscribers. Basically what we're saying, guys, is whether you follow us on social media, watch us on YouTube, listen to the podcast live, or in your audio device of choice, we love you and we're thankful for you. We could have made it to 500 if it weren't for you. And so thank you so much for continuing to support Nintendo Dads. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. Check out our website, nintendodads.org, for Spotify podcast feeds of all our shows, YouTube videos and tweets, social media links, Patreon, Extra Life pages, Nintendo Dads merch. And don't forget to check out our sponsor, manscaped.com, where you can get 20% off any order and free shipping with the code NINDADS. That's NINDADS. Email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. We would love to hear your voicemails next week on episode 500. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music we use throughout the show. And reminder, wherever you download us in your podcatcher of choice, please leave us a 5-star review if it's available and some comments. It helps push us on up the charts. And really, what would be any more fitting for episode 500 than for Nintendo Dads to land at number 1 on those charts? That would be awesome. You can help make that happen. Thanks again for listening. This has been episode 499 for me, for Tim, for Jesse, and Dancing Bumblebee. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
What's wrong with you?